Hai, selamat datang di channelku. Um, this is my first podcast that I will post to YouTube podcast. I just knew that apparently there's uh, a way to there's like a specific corner uh, provided by YouTube if you want to create a podcast. And I just saw it, and I don't know. I really want to have a podcast, so I just click on it, and when I clicked it, um, it's just creating a new space for uploading the video. So a wise man says, better start than not doing it. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying, but anyway, I want to start doing this podcast, and also I also want to use this as a way to learn or to learn English by speaking. So the more that I practice, the better I will be, right? So anyway, I think that's a bit explanation about why did I have this podcast video really unprepared. Mm, okay, so for this first ever podcast, I decided to talk about something that really interesting for me. Um, it will be book and art. Well, but before that, I think it will be better for me if I introduce myself. Well, my name is Yossi, and actually, uh, I work. I mean, my my everyday activity will be like working, and then right now I also uh, in the middle of pursuing my uh, studies. But let's talk about that later. Anyway, if I want to be known by other people, I would say that I want to be known as someone that appreciate art, um, because I found solace and like calmness in art, whether it's music, dance, theater, like or acting or painting. And I think art is like everywhere. Um, and I always have like a really big interest on arts because it's just bring calmness to myself, to my heart. So yeah, so that's me. Um, so if you saw the title of this podcast, the title is let's talk about blah blah blah. So I'm planning on having another podcast, like another episode, and in the other episode, we will be talking about something else and something more. But for this first ever episode, we will be talking about book and art as they are like the thing that really close to my heart. So anyway, um, book. So I actually don't realize like since when I like reading books. Um, but every time like when I have to fill in a form about like my profile, wherever and wherever, if there was like a form that asking about my hobby, I would write reading or listening to music because I think that's the simplest hobby. Like you can read anywhere, everywhere, and you can also listen to music like anywhere and everywhere. So that's the simplest and the easiest thing to do. But also, um, actually, well, basically, I really like reading. Um, but I just like recently, um, well, not really recently, but I think this is my last job when I met my friends in my workplace right now. There's a person who like one of my friend. She said like like I think like she at first I think she's like judging me like, oh, Yossi, you like book like a bookworm or something. And at first I don't really like it. Like, what do you mean like saying that? Because what I like is not just book. I like many things like paintings, like going to museums, like music, like um, um, enjoying like movies. Uh, yeah, that's all. So it's like I don't know, but at first I didn't like it, but then when I think more about it, I feel like why should I be mad or why should I take it like seriously and why should I get offended? Because we're reading books actually good. Like it's easy, it's simple, you got new knowledge, you got new experience, mm, and like if for someone who like traveling, they would go travel to some places like new places and they would have a new experience. But for people who like reading books, they could experience new places, new feelings, even without having to travel or having to like experience the real things. So since I thought about that, I was like kind of proud of it. Like, yeah, I like book. I like reading books. So yeah, that's me. That's my identity now. So yeah, since I was kid, I think I really like my family. Well, I I'm not like from a really wealthy family, but my family is like they support their kids. So yes, I don't really remember, but I think it was my, when I was in kindergarten, and you know, the Donald Duck, Mickey Mouse. Um, I think those two characters are really in my era. So I could watch it in a television. Um, sometimes, just sometimes, I could also hear it like through the radio, like a story about Mickey Mouse or Donald Duck from the radio. But one day I was like in a store or something, and I saw magazines, and it's about the Donald Duck, and I was like, oh, that's so cute, and I really want to know the stories inside the book, or yeah, the magazines. So I just asked my dad to buy it, and he bought it. And I think since that moment, I was like founding a, I found like another way to enjoy the story of the Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse. And actually, that's it. Um, I don't really remember again the after, like the time after that, but then maybe in my primary school, I don't really remember, but there used to be in a in one of the franchise of the mini market in Indonesia. There's a store that sell a comic of the Detective Conan, and I still remember the price was like at first it was like 14,000 rupiahs, but then I don't know what happened. It increases to 16 to 17, and after that I stopped buying it. But my point is, through that stories, um, my interest of reading also got increases. So starting from reading comics and like short stories about yeah the kids stories, Disney's like that. Um, I moved to read another genre. Long story short, I was in college. Um, well, at first, I don't really enjoy reading novel because I think it's not my genre. Like I didn't know how to enjoy a novel, and I haven't found a story that is really interesting for me. Maybe so it's really hard for me to stay focused on reading novel. But when I was in college, I got to know BTS, RM, and I think he said that he read this novel written by Haruki Murakami titled Norwegian Wood. And I was really curious because I'm a really big fan of BTS. So when Namjoon or RM said that he read Haruki Murakami's novel, I really want to know what kind of book he read, you know. So I was trying to find that book, but at that time I couldn't find it. But I found another book, which was 1Q84. This book is super cool. I don't know how to say it, but it's really cool. I mean, for the first time ever, I finally could enjoy a novel. Like it's really thick, like 300 pages or something, but I could not stop reading it because it's really good. Like so this book 1Q84, I said I found out that it was actually inspired by uh, the author George Orwell, his book, which is like 1984. But well, I didn't read that book, but I read this 1Q84 by Haruki Murakami. And in that book, the chapter was titled by every characters on the book, like the leading characters of the book. Like there was like Tango, and then Aomame, and then there's one more character if I'm not mistaken, but I don't really remember the name. But it's just really addicted. Like I'm really addicted to the stories. Like it's really cool and it's really good. It's kind of like a sci-fi, like science fiction, but there's like a mystery on it. Um, there's also a story about, like, I think another character was like a police. Yeah, like yeah, so it's really good, and but it's complicated. So I really love it. Like I just like, oh my God, like, oh, this is how to read novel. Or I feel like, so this is my genre, this is like the stories that I like. So I think starting from that moment, if I would want to read another book, I would find that kind of story, the story that contains of like mystery, but also like a bit science fiction, um, but also like adventure kind of thing. Well, 1Q84, I couldn't really say it's an adventure, but it's like a journey. But like I haven't tried to find another book, by the way. But anyway, so this book, 1Q84, was actually coming in three, what do we call it? Three edition? No. So there's like 1Q84 book one, 1Q84 book two, and like trilogy. Yeah, one book again, like 1Q84 book three. To finish this first book, I needed like almost 3 months to finish it. But because it's really good and it's really addicting, when I finally finished the first book, I I bought the second book. I don't remember how many pages on that book, but I remember I could finish it like in a month. And I was surprised, like, wow, I could finish reading novel in like a month. It's also thick, but it's really, I remember the feelings like when I read it, like it's thrilling, and but sometimes and somehow it feels also like I could find like calmness by reading it. So it's really cool. And right after I finished my second book, I bought the third book. And I think it's similar with the second book. I finished it like, it's more like it's thicker than the second book, almost like the first one. And I needed about more than 1 month, but not more than 3 months. So about 2 months. Um, and it's so good. I remember when I finished reading the book, I was like, oh, I should tell you about the ending. So the ending is like, what I remember from after finishing the third book was like, shouldn't be a fourth book. Because from what I feel, it's like, that's it. that's the ending. Like, but yeah, I could agree that, oh yeah, this is the ending, but it feels like, oh, shouldn't be a fourth book. But anyway, it's only three. But it's really cool. So after that, I was trying to find another books by Haruki Murakami. I think that maybe Haruki Murakami is really good in creating stories, you know. And I don't know, did I get the inspiration by RM again or not? But there's this, oh, I think so. Yeah, it's also from RM. So I think RM not just like he didn't just read the Norwegian word, but also the one titled Kafka on the Shore. And I tried to find that book, and it's really hard. I mean, I couldn't find it in the bookstore, in my local bookstore. But I don't know why. I was trying to find it in the online market, and I found one, but it's like not the it's the original one, but it's like secondhand. And I think it's better than buying a the unoriginal one. So I just bought the original one, but the second hand. I bought it and I tried to read it, but when I read it, um, it's kind of the language or the language is like it's in English, by the way, like the English translation. Oh, I read the 1Q84 in Bahasa Indonesia, but for Kafka on the Shore, I read the English translation, and I don't know how to say this, but the language is like a bit like 18 plus, and I read that book on when I was like 24, 25 maybe. Actually, that's okay. I mean, I can read that book, but the language is like, for me, it's a bit uncomfortable. So it's hard for me to finish the book. I need years. So I was like reading the book, I got like 10 pages, 15 pages, and then why does stories like this? So I just closed the book. I put it on my shelf and I didn't open it again. And then after like months, I was like, oh, there's Kafka on the Shore. Let's read it again. So I opened the book again and then I continue reading it again. But then when I wanted to continue it, I was like, what was the story? So I reread the book again. So I think in 2024, I finally decided I really want to finish the book. So I brought the book everywhere I go, like when I work, when I was on a train, when I went to vacation even. So anytime I got the moment, I will take the book and I will read it publicly in public. I don't really care. I actually a bit shy because I'm afraid that someone could see the language and judge me. But I really need to finish the book because I have another book from Haruki Murakami that I really want to read. So I just forced myself to read the book. And after half the book, I got really absorbed. Like I finally found the interesting part of the book. Like, oh, like the ah, this is the unique thing. This is the interesting part. So I think after finishing half of the book, it's really easy to finish half end of the book. So yeah, the second book from Haruki Murakami is Kafka on the Shore. It's really good. Um, it's again, yeah, it's kind of science fiction, but again, it's like a mystery. There's police on the story too, and yeah, the topic is kind of heavier. Well, it's the same weight, I think, but it's it's like there's adult on the stories, but also teenager on the story, so it's kind of complicated. But yeah, well, Haruki Murakami. So after reading these two books, I could say that I think, well, I didn't read a lot of books, like a lot of novels, like, or I also I haven't read books from the other authors, but I think Haruki Murakami is an author that like giving me a way to enjoy novel. Um, so I think if you really want to make real your hobby, like, if you were like me, like whenever you have to fill in a form and then there's a question about hobby and then you write reading book, but you don't really know what book you will read, or yeah, it's just like a because it's easy, because it's simple, and that you don't really like reading book. I think I want to recommend you to read Haruki Murakami's book because it's really complicated but unique and fun. But there's a topic that you could enjoy. I mean, just read. So 1Q84 and Kafka on the Shore. I still have two more books from Haruki Murakami. And by the way, I finally got the Norwegian Wood. And I really want to read that book. But I haven't got the time. But anyway, yeah, that's the first one. And the second one, I really want to talk about art. So, what art? So, before COVID, before the pandemic, um, my grandma passed away, and it's kind of hitting me very bad. And I was like, there's a thought that came to my mind that said, um, you have to enjoy your life more. Mm, so there's like an urge inside myself that tell me to you have to change. So again, I don't like traveling. I don't like going on vacation. I don't know, and I don't know how to enjoy it. When I go just by myself, what I found is calmness. So when I go with my friends or other people, I couldn't find the calmness, so I don't really enjoy it. I just like to stay at home. Whenever like I got holidays, I would like just laying down on my bed, reading books, watching movies, listening to music, and that's it, or sleep. So when that voice becomes louder and louder that asks me to change, I was like, okay, let's change ourselves. So I was like asking my friend to one of these, just like my best friend. We were like, let's go on a vacation. So we planned to go vacation to Bali, but we used the backpacker mode. So we were like um, getting on a bus, and then the bus will go on a ship, and then the ship will bring us to Bali. And in Bali, we'll, we'll just use the online taxi, and I really I really was trying to enjoy vacation, by the way, but it's still hard. I don't know. But there's a moment when I went to Bali with my best friend on backpacker mode. We were like visiting a puppet gallery, a puppet museum, and I don't know. Again, I found my calmness again. Like I could feel calm. I could feel when I saw the puppets. Um, I was like, sometimes the puppet is kind of scary, and also the mask. Uh, Hang on, I forgot the name of the museum, but it was like, let me find it again. But it's really cool. I mean, it's in Ubud, by the way. Um, Satya Dharma, or yeah, Satya Dharma House of Mask and Puppets. There are so many masks and puppets, and it's kind of creepy actually, but I enjoyed it. So I learned, okay, so whenever I want to go on vacation, make sure that museum or a gallery should be on the list, whether I go just by myself or with my friends. So I think months after Bali, I decided to go to Bandung. So there's a gallery. It's a sculpt gallery. It's called New Art Park in Bandung. Those sculptures are made by I Nyoman Nuarta, the one that also created the Garuda Wisnu Kencana in Bali. So when I visited that gallery, I was like getting my confirmation, like it's confirmed that one thing that I can enjoy in vacation would be about museum or gallery. Um, but let me take you back to like before, like the reason why I could find calmness in when visiting gallery or museum. So when I was in college, uh, I was in Bandung, by the way. Uh, I graduated from OP. One of my lecturer, he was like teaching in two schools, like so this OP has like some branches kind of thing. So I was in Cibiru, and there's a like the main campus was well, the main campus is like in Setiabudi. So one of my lecturer, he's an art lecturer, by the way. He taught in two campuses, like my campus and the main campus. And there's an assignment given by this lecturer that we have to go visit the main campus when they have like an event. I don't really remember what was the event, but it's held by the arts and design students. So yeah, we went there and we visited the exhibition. Um, Actually, there are a lot of arts, like not just like the 2 dimension, also 3 dimension and 4 dimension. And then there's a painting on a wall. The painter is actually not from UPI. I think it's from UNES. UNES like Universitas Negeri Semarang. There's a painting. The title of the painting is Children to Heaven. The painter was like, the painter is, I don't know how to say it, I'm sorry, Peri Sunata or Peri Sunata. And it was painted on 2014. I think it's Pameran Mahasiswa from Jamu. Yeah, it's from the arts and design students. So this is the painting. When I saw this painting, I was like happy. I don't know. I mean, even now I'm smiling. I don't, this painting is just like really beautiful, and it's very casual. It's very simple. Like you can find children playing in your area. But I don't know, it's just when they, I don't know, this is really good. I mean, for me, for myself. And I think starting from that moment, I really enjoy paintings and arts. Um, and so yeah, well, in this hectic world, sometimes we should find like something that could could hold up us together. For me, it will be book and art. So if you haven't found it, I think you could try to look more to yourself, and hopefully if you finally found it, you could enjoy life more. Because when in one song from BTS, there's a there's a I forgot the title of the song. There's this lyric. It's a rap lyric by RM. Uh, the song is like, I forgot. Hang on. Let me find it. Let me find it. Okay. Comes from me. Life is sport. Oh my God. Find me the song. Could they find it? Oh my God. Hi, I am back. So I was like trying to find the song. So there's a lyric in BTS's song. Um, the song is the title of the song is Path, and in RM's part, like in RM's rap, he said, um, but we don't know, blah blah blah, and then and then and then some say art is long, life is short. But now for me, art is life, life is sport. Just do it. Ah, so yeah, art is life, and life is sport. just do it. So that's for me. You should find your thing to enjoy your life more. So yeah, I think that's all for our first my first podcast in YouTube. Um, Hopefully I can share about anything about more than book and art in the next episode. So if you find this podcast interesting for you, you may subscribe so you can know when will the next episode will drop. I'll see you again in the next episode. I'm Yossi. See ya.